Chapter 139 begins. At the young age of just 23, Kagaya Ubuyashiki is confirmed dead. Before his death, he spent every day visiting the graves of fallen demon slayers, until his illness finally prevented him from doing so. The scene takes place in the past, where Gyomei recalls the first time he met Kagaya. When Oyakata was 14, he was only 18. Immediately, Kagaya knew that Gyomei had protected the children he was accused of killing. Gyomei remembers that even back then, Kagaya spoke in a way that people wanted to hear, and his solemn demeanor remained until his last moments. During the last time he personally spoke with the stone Hashira, Kagaya predicted that Muzan Kibutsuji would come within 5 days, instructing Gyomei to decapitate him while Kagaya acted as a decoy. It is revealed that the Ubuyashiki family's foresight and instincts were unmatched, using their power to protect themselves from disasters. Kagaya knew the other Hashira would not accept his decision of self-sacrifice, and asked the Hashira he had known the longest to carry out his wish. The scene shifts to the present, where Gyomei manages to successfully behead Muzan, assisted by Tamayo, keeping the demon still. As Kagaya had predicted, Muzan regenerates his head completely. Unsurprised, Gyomei recalls his late leader's words that sunlight is the only way to kill the demon lord, and resolves to keep him restrained until dawn. Muzan attempts to ensnare the Hashira with his blood demon art, black blood brambles, but the attack is deflected by Gyomei's stone-breathing third form, stone skin. Sanemi arrives and angrily asks what has been done to Master Kagaya. The rest of the Hashira then arrive. Gyomei announces that they are now facing the demon king Muzan himself, shocking all the Hashira, as none of them have ever directly encountered him. Tanjiro, the only one present who has personally faced him, angrily calls out to him. All of the remaining Hashira use their respective breath techniques to cut Muzan down. As they converge on the demon, Muzan laughs to himself. Giant doors suddenly appear and slide open under the demon slayers, causing them all to plummet into the Infinity Castle. Muzan declares that he will kill them all tonight. Tanjiro responds that the only one who will die is Muzan, and Muzan challenges him to do it if he can. Chapter 139 ends. Chapter 140 begins. As Tanjiro falls, he is caught by Gyu and thrown onto a nearby platform to safety. The two are suddenly attacked by numerous demons, but quickly kill them all using the water-breathing sixth form, whirlpool, and water-breathing third form, flowing dance, respectively. Tanjiro comments on how amazing Gyu is, noting internally how he can accurately predict the type of form he would use through slight movements while staying calm. The two then head further into the castle. Obanai rescues Mitsuri from several demons using serpent-breathing fifth form, slithering serpent, much to her exuberant gratitude. Gyomei and Muichiro rush throughout the castle, slaughtering demons. They note that all the demons they encounter are roughly the strength of a lower moon, suggesting Muzan intends to wear them down. The two lament the loss of Kagaya Ubuyashiki. Muichiro remembers the time he was near death from attacks, and Kagaya encouraged him to continue. Kagaya did so with all the injured demon slayers in a fatherly manner. Muichiro seethes with rage that Muzan had killed his twin and his second father, hoping to bring Muzan to hell. Even the normally calm Gyomei is furious. Sanemi laments his inability to protect Kagaya. When demons appear before him, he rapidly slaughters them all. Inosuke is excited to fall into the Infinity Castle, eager to test his abilities on numerous demons. Zenitsu hears something nearby and believes a particular someone is close, calling them unforgivable. Shinobu smells some blood and decides to open a nearby door. Inside the room are numerous corpses of women and a demon standing there. Chapter 140 ends. Chapter 141 begins. Shinobu remembers Kanai Kocho's death and seen crying. Kanai had told her to quit the Demon Slayer Corps, to gain the happiness of a normal girl, and to live until she became old. Shinobu desperately asked her sister about the demon that attacked her, stating that she could not live a normal life like this. Sadly, the flashback ends with a shadowy recall of a demon that looked as if blood was dumped all over his head. The demon smiles and takes off his crown, introducing himself as Doma. Shinobu recalls her sister's words that the demon would laugh in a carefree manner and speak softly. One of Doma's victims reaches out desperately for help, only to be told by Doma to be quiet, as he was in the middle of talking. However, Shinobu carries her away from Doma and sweetly asks if she is all right. Doma then asks if she is a Hashira due to her speed. Just as the victim attempts to reply to Shinobu, she is murdered by Doma's attacks. Doma smiles and tells her to leave the body there, stating that he will eat it later. Shinobu remembers her sister's statement that the demon's weapons were a pair of sharp fans. The demon then explains that he is the leader of the Eternal Paradise faith, claiming that it is his duty to be happy with himself and his followers. Shinobu tells Doma disgustedly that the girl he killed was clearly in pain and begging for help. Doma responds that he saved the girl, claiming that she no longer feels pain, suffering, or fear. He goes on to say that everyone fears death, which is why he eats his followers for their sake, so they can live forever with him. He claims that he takes his followers' hopes, blood, and flesh to heart, and leads them to a higher salvation. Shinobu angrily spits that he couldn't possibly be sane, and asks if he is all right in the head, telling him that he makes her want to vomit. Doma gives a surprised expression, noting that she's been rather harsh for their first meeting. He then realizes that Shinobu must have been through something quite difficult, pitying her and suggesting he listen to what she has to say about it. Shinobu angrily clutches her haori and growls that Doma was the one who killed her sister, fiercely demanding if he has no memories of this specific haori. Doma then recalls Kanai as the girl who used flower breathing, stating his regret over not being able to eat her before sunrise. Shinobu cuts him off with a strike to his eye, using her insect-breathing dance of the beasting true flutter. Doma compliments her, saying it was so fast he couldn't prevent it with his hand. He then unleashes his demon art, Frozen Lotus, and Shinobu backflips to dodge it. However, she inhales some of the ice powder he had scattered about. Doma compliments her speed, but states that she wouldn't be able to kill a demon with stabs, and that slicing his neck was the best option. To this, she responds that if a stab wound didn't kill him, poison would. As the wisteria poison takes effect, he falls onto the floor, hacking up blood and telling Shinobu that this poison is much stronger than the one she used at the mountain. He says that Muzan had warned him that she changes her poisons for every demon she faces. Doma quickly breaks down the poison, grinning widely as he apologizes for breaking it down, despite her effort. He comments that Shinobu's katana makes a distinctive sound whenever she sheathes it, wondering if that's how she changes the concentration of the poison. He clasps his hands together and joyfully exclaims how fun and interesting it is to get poisoned, suggesting it may become a habit. He asks Shinobu if she thinks the next poison formulation would work, excitedly asking her to try it out. Shinobu notes that it was already speculated beforehand that he would most likely be able to break the poison down. Chapter 141 ends. Thank you for watching. If you liked my explanation and want to see more chapters quicker, make sure to subscribe as it keeps me motivated to make more videos.